quiet moments of our lives, amidst the hustle and bustle of our daily routines, we all face losses. Some of these losses are small and easily forgotten, while others leave a profound impact on our souls, altering the course of our lives forever. It's in these moments of profound loss that our faith is tested the most. Yet, it's also in these moments that God's presence can be the most palpable, the most real. Imagine standing amidst the ruins of what once was, your heart heavy with loss. It feels like the world has shifted under your feet, leaving you grappling for something, anything to hold on to. The pain is palpable, a constant reminder of what's been taken from you. But what if this isn't the end? What if this is just the beginning of a beautiful story of restoration that God is writing in your life? Today, we're going to explore the 7 unmistakable signs that God is not just walking with you through your loss, but is on the verge of restoring what you've lost in ways you might never have imagined. These signs are beacons of hope, illuminating the path forward, guiding us back to a place of peace, purpose, and fulfillment. As we delve into these signs, I invite you to open your heart to the possibility of divine restoration. Let this be a journey not just of recovery, but of discovery, as we uncover the profound ways in which God works in our lives, turning our deepest losses into our greatest testimonies. Stay with us, and let's embark on this journey together, exploring the divine whispers that promise restoration, hope, and a new beginning. In the shadow of loss, where hope seems like a flickering light in the vast darkness, the first sign of God's impending restoration often emerges quietly, gently, through renewed faith amidst despair. Picture this: Sarah, a woman who had lost everything she held dear, found herself wrestling with her faith. The loss was not just material, but deeply personal, shaking the very foundations of her belief. Night after night, she found herself questioning everything she had ever believed in. Yet, in the depth of her despair, something miraculous began to happen. Where there was once doubt, a new sense of faith started to take root. It was as if the very act of questioning, of crying out in her pain, had opened her heart to a deeper, more profound understanding of God's presence in her life. This renewed faith amidst despair didn't come with loud fanfare or dramatic revelations. Instead, it was a quiet realization that even in her darkest moments, she was not alone. Sarah began to notice the small miracles in her life, the warmth of the sun on her face, the unexpected call from an old friend, the verse of scripture that seemed to speak directly to her situation. Each of these moments was like a whisper from God, a reminder that her loss was not the end of her story, but a chapter in a larger, more beautiful narrative that was unfolding. And that's the heart of the first sign. When all seems lost and despair looms large, a renewed faith can emerge, subtly but powerfully, signaling that God is at work. It's a faith that does not ignore the pain or the loss, but finds God in the midst of it, holding us close, whispering promises of restoration and hope. So, if you find yourself in a place of despair, if the loss you've experienced has left you doubting and questioning, look for this sign. Pay attention to those moments, however small, where your faith begins to flicker back to life. These are not coincidences. They are divine interventions, gentle reminders that even now, especially now, God is moving, restoring, and preparing you for what's to come. As we move forward, remember Sarah's story. It's a testament to the power of renewed faith amidst despair, a beacon for all of us navigating through the shadows, searching for the light. This renewed faith is the first sign, a divine whisper in the silence, signaling that restoration is not just possible, it's on the horizon. As we journey through the aftermath of loss, navigating the rough seas of despair and isolation, the second sign of God's imminent restoration manifests in an often surprising yet profound way through unexpected support systems. This sign reassures us that we are not meant to walk this path alone, and that help can come from the most unforeseen places and people, orchestrated by a loving God who sees our struggles and responds with compassion. Imagine Mark, a man who had dedicated his life to serving others, suddenly finding himself on the brink of financial ruin. Community he had helped build seemed distant, and in his moment of need, he felt profoundly alone. But when he least expected it, support came from an unexpected source. A new neighbor, unaware of Mark's dire situation, offered him a job out of the blue. This job not only provided for his immediate needs, but also connected him with people who would become like family, offering emotional support and companionship he desperately needed. This unexpected support system was a clear sign from God that even in our most isolated moments, He is working behind the scenes to bring us the help we need. It's a testament to the fact that our help can come from places we least expect outside of our existing networks, from strangers who become friends, and from coincidences that are anything but. These support systems are God's way of weaving His love and care into the fabric of our lives, reminding us that restoration is not just a distant dream, but a present reality being worked out through the kindness of others. And it's not just about receiving support, it's about the divine connections that are formed in these moments, the bonds that are strengthened, and the community that is built. It's a reminder that sometimes our greatest trials bring with them the most beautiful gifts of friendship and solidarity. So, if you find yourself feeling alone in your struggle, keep your heart open to the unexpected. The support you need may come from the least likely places, brought into your life by a God who delights in surprising us with His goodness and provision. This unexpected support is a sign, a beacon of hope, that God is actively working to restore what was lost, using the hands and hearts of those around us to do so. As we move to the next sign, carry with you the story of Mark and the unexpected support that came his way. It's a powerful reminder that in God's economy, no one walks alone, and sometimes the most significant support comes wrapped in surprise, a clear indicator that restoration is on its way. In the midst of turmoil, when the winds of loss and uncertainty howl around us, the third sign of God's imminent restoration emerges as a beacon of divine grace, peace that defies logic. This peace, transcendent and profound, envelops us at times when, by all accounts, we should be falling apart. It's a peace that doesn't just surpass understanding. It actively guards our hearts and minds, anchoring us in the promise of restoration and hope. Consider the story of Emma, who faced the kind of tragedy that would understandably shatter anyone's spirit. In the span of a single year, she lost a loved one, faced a daunting health diagnosis, and struggled with the collapse of her career. Yet, amidst this storm of life-altering events, Emma experienced a peace that was completely at odds with her circumstances. This wasn't a denial of her pain or a superficial calm, but a deep, unshakable serenity that whispered to her soul, "You are not alone. This is not the end." This peace that defies logic is more than just a feeling. It's a sign of God's presence and action in our lives. It's a divine assurance that He is with us in the storm, working all things together for our good, even when we can't see it. This peace is a testament to the fact that our circumstances do not define God's ability to restore and heal. Rather, they serve as a backdrop to His power and grace, but shine brightest in our darkest moments. For those who experience this peace, it's a call to trust in God's plan, to lean into His embrace, and to know that the restoration He promises is rooted in His understanding of our needs, desires, and the perfect timing for our lives. It's an invitation to let go of our need for control, to surrender our fears and anxieties, and to rest in the assurance that God is in control, lovingly orchestrating our restoration. If you find yourself in a situation where everything seems to be falling apart, yet you feel a peace that doesn't make sense, embrace it. This peace is a sign, a divine whisper to your heart that God is very much present and active in your life. It's a promise that He is working behind the scenes to restore what was lost, to heal what was broken, and to bring beauty from the ashes of your situation. As we move forward, let the story of Emma remind you that peace that defies logic is not just a fleeting emotion, but a profound sign of God's restoration at work in your life. It's an anchor in the storm, a reminder that with God, restoration is not only possible, but already in progress. Among the signs that God is weaving a story of restoration in our lives, one of the most transformative is the pull towards forgiveness. This isn't simply an urge to move past old grievances. It's a divine drawing of our hearts towards releasing ourselves and others from the chains of resentment and bitterness. This pull towards forgiveness is a powerful indicator that God is preparing us for a season of renewal and healing, for it's often through forgiveness that the deepest forms of restoration occur. Let's consider the journey of Lucas, who harbored deep-seated anger towards a friend who betrayed him. This anger consumed Lucas, darkening his outlook on life and hindering his spiritual growth. The bitterness felt justified, and yet it chained him to the past, preventing him from moving forward. Then, gradually, Lucas felt a change within him, a softening of his heart, an unexpected desire to forgive, and a clarity that this bitterness was only holding him back. This was not a human logic-driven decision. It was a divine nudge, a pull towards freedom through forgiveness. This pull towards forgiveness is significant for several reasons. Firstly, it's a clear sign of God's hand at work in our hearts, transforming us from the inside out. It's an invitation to participate in our own healing by letting go of what has hurt us. Secondly, forgiveness opens the door to restoration, not just with others, but within our own hearts. It's often the key to unlocking the peace and joy that we've been missing. Forgiveness, in this divine context, is not about ignoring the pain or pretending the wrong didn't happen. It's about releasing the burden of that pain so we can be free to move forward. It's about trusting God to handle the injustices of our lives, believing that He can bring about justice in His way and time. The pull towards forgiveness is a reminder that our stories are still being written and that God's plans for us include healing and wholeness. For those experiencing this pull, it's important to lean into it, even when it's challenging. This doesn't mean the process will be easy or instantaneous, but it's a journey worth taking. Forgiveness can lead to unexpected pathways of restoration, opening up possibilities for reconciliation, new beginnings, and deeper understanding. As we reflect on this sign, consider the areas in your life where you feel a divine pull towards forgiveness. Embrace it as an indication that God is at work, ready to restore what was broken and lead you into a future filled with hope and healing. The journey of forgiveness is a pivotal step towards the comprehensive restoration God has in store for you. As we navigate through our journey of faith and healing, another profound sign that God is at work in our lives, preparing us for restoration, is the presence of recurring messages and symbols. These are not random occurrences or mere coincidences. but divine signals meant to guide us, reassure us, and sometimes redirect our paths. They serve as reminders of God's presence and His promises, often appearing when we need them the most. Take the story of Ava, for instance, who was going through a period of intense uncertainty in her life. Everywhere she turned, it seemed as though a particular verse from Scripture was following her. It popped up in her daily readings, was mentioned by friends out of the blue, and even appeared on a billboard during a particularly challenging day. This verse, which spoke of hope and a future, became a beacon of light for Ava, a recurring message that she was not forgotten, that God had a plan for her life beyond the current turmoil. These recurring messages and symbols can take many forms: a specific phrase that keeps appearing, a symbol that seems to show up repeatedly in unexpected places, or a song that speaks directly to your situation and plays just when you need to hear it. They are personalized communications from God, tailored to catch our attention and speak directly to our hearts. Why does God use these signs? Because He knows us intimately. He knows that in our busyness, in our distractions, and even in our doubts, we need tangible reminders of His love and His sovereignty. These recurring messages are God's way of saying, "I see you. I'm with you. Trust me." Acknowledging these signs when they appear in our lives is crucial. They are invitations to pause, reflect, and realign our focus on God's promises. They encourage us to remain steadfast in our faith, reminding us that God is moving, even when we can't see the full picture. They are whispers of hope, that restoration is not just a distant possibility, but a present reality being orchestrated by God's hand. If you start noticing these recurring messages or symbols in your life, take a moment to consider what they might be saying to you. Reflect on their significance and how they might be guiding you towards a deeper understanding of God's plan for your restoration and renewal. As we continue to explore the signs of God's restoration in our lives, let the story of Ava and her recurring message inspire you. It's a beautiful reminder that God is intimately involved in the details of our lives, using even the smallest of signs to communicate His love, guidance, and promise of restoration. As we journey closer to understanding the signs of God's work in our lives, the sixth sign emerges as a profound internal shift, a change in our priorities. This isn't about the day-to-day alterations in our schedules or plans, but a deep, lasting transformation in what we value most. This shift signifies that God is preparing us for something new, aligning our hearts with His purposes and paving the way for restoration. Consider the transformation in the life of Elijah, a dedicated businessman whose identity was deeply tied to his career success and material wealth. Following a personal crisis that stripped away many of the things he had valued, Elijah found himself reassessing what truly mattered. Over time, he experienced a dramatic shift in priorities. Family, relationships, and serving others began to take precedence over his previously unquenchable thirst for success and recognition. This wasn't a decision forced by circumstance, but a genuine change of heart, a sign that God was at work, restoring Elijah not just externally, but internally. This shift in priorities is crucial for several reasons. First, it reflects a heart becoming more in tune with God's heart, valuing what He values, and finding joy in what brings Him joy. Second, it often precedes a period of restoration, as it prepares us to receive and appreciate the blessings God wants to bestow upon us, in a way we wouldn't have been able to before. It's as if God is saying, "Prepare your heart for what I am about to do." Embracing this shift can be challenging, especially if it means letting go of things, identities, or aspirations we once held dear. However, this process of realignment is essential for true restoration to take place. It's about making room in our lives for God to work, allowing Him to fill our lives with what is truly fulfilling and lasting. For those experiencing this profound shift in priorities, it's an invitation to explore what God might be preparing you for. It's an opportunity to delve deeper into your faith, to reassess where you're investing your time, energy, and resources, and to align more closely with God's purpose for your life. As we move forward, let Elijah's story be a reminder of the transformative power of a shift in priorities. It's a clear sign that God is at work in the most intimate areas of our lives, guiding us towards a future filled with His restoration and grace. The seventh sign of God's imminent restoration in our lives emerges as a profound, often unexpected desire to serve and give back. This is not merely a fleeting inclination towards charitable acts or a temporary surge of generosity. Instead, it's a deep-seated, enduring desire that marks a significant shift in our hearts, a signal that we are aligning more closely with God's heart and His purposes. This transformative desire is both a sign of our own spiritual growth and a harbinger of the restoration God is orchestrating in and through us. Take, for example, the story of Sophia, who, after years of prioritizing personal success and material gain, found herself feeling empty and unfulfilled. In the midst of this spiritual emptiness, Sophia felt an unexpected pull towards volunteering at a local food bank. What started as a tentative step towards filling her time became a life-changing journey of serving others. Through this service, Sophia discovered a sense of purpose and joy she had never known. Her desire to give back didn't stop at the food bank. It expanded, influencing every area of her life, transforming her from the inside out. This new passion for service was a clear indication that God was at work, restoring Sophia's life to align with His vision of love and generosity. This desire to serve and give back is significant for several reasons. Firstly, it reflects a heart that is becoming more like Jesus, who came not to be served, but to serve. It's an indicator of a profound spiritual maturity and a life that is increasingly focused on what truly matters. Secondly, this desire often leads us down paths we would not have chosen on our own, opening doors to divine appointments and opportunities for God to work through us in the lives of others. For those who experience this deep-seated desire to serve and give back, it is an invitation to step into a new level of faith and obedience. It's an opportunity to be the hands and feet of Jesus in a world in desperate need of love and grace. This desire is also a promise that as we pour out our lives for others, God pours His Spirit and blessings into us, often in ways we could never anticipate. Embrace this desire as a clear signal that God is moving in your life, preparing you for a season of restoration that is not just about what you will receive, but also about what you will give. It's a testament to the transformative power of God's love, a love that heals us and then flows out of us to bring healing to the world around us. As we reflect on this seventh sign, let Sophia's story inspire you to open your heart to the ways God might be calling you to serve and give back. It's a powerful reminder that our journey of restoration is not just about what we recover, but also about how we contribute to the restoration of others. This desire to serve is a clear indication that God is at work in your life, preparing you for greater things than you could ever imagine. And there you have it, the 7 unmistakable signs that God is on the move, weaving a beautiful tapestry of restoration in your life. From renewed faith amidst despair to the undeniable pull towards serving others, each sign is a divine whisper, assuring you that your story is far from over. It's a reminder that even in our darkest hours, God's light shines the brightest, guiding us towards a future filled with hope, healing, and transformation. Now, we turn to you. Have you noticed any of these signs in your own life? Perhaps you've felt that unexplainable peace, or found yourself drawn to forgive and serve in ways you never thought possible. Whatever your story, we want to hear it. Share your experiences in the comments below, and let's create a community of encouragement and inspiration, reminding each other of the incredible ways God works in our lives. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you found this message uplifting. Your engagement helps spread hope and encouragement far and wide, touching lives and inspiring hearts. Remember, you are a vital part of this story, a living testimony to God's endless grace and power to restore. So, as we close this chapter, take heart. Keep your eyes open for these signs, and stay attuned to the divine movements in your life. For with God, every end is a new beginning, and every loss is an opportunity for something beautiful to be restored. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, keep walking in faith and expectancy. God's restoration is at hand,